What's up, witches?
What's up, witches?
I'm Linda.
And I'm John. I thought you were Trisket.
Well,
Okay.
okay, I'm Trisket.
No, we don't want to. Sorry. What's up, witches? This is our final episode on the tarot, specifically the major arcana. Shall we get started?
Sure.
Okay.
So, first card in this episode is the Sun.
And I want to say these last three cards, I think, in some respects, would be some of the most powerful.
Okay.
Just based on, well, anyway, continue.
The card number for this one is 19. The element is fire, the Sun. The planet or celestial body associated with it is the Sun. And the zodiac sign is Leo. Numerology is 1 + 9 = 10. 1 + 0 = 1. So it's connected to the Magician card as well as the Wheel of Fortune. The Hebrew letter associated with this card is Resh, R-E-S-H. And the primary principle is fulfillment. Now, for the card description, at least with the Rider-Waite deck, is that there is a large yellow sun with 21 rays hanging in a light blue sky above a nude child riding a grayish white horse. Why the kid has to be nude, I don't know. There is a field of sunflowers behind the child and horse and a red flag flying nearby. A red feather hovers above the child's head and a wall can be seen beneath the field of sunflowers.
Now, okay, so it's card number 19, but there's 21 rays.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I thought there might be some significance. Okay.
So the symbolism in the card, the sun in itself represents collective knowledge, conscience, and consciousness, the center from which we should organize our lives. The 21 rays represent the other cards of the major arcana. So there are 22 cards total in the major arcana. This is one of them. The 21 rays represent the other 21 cards. And it's also an indication that all of life's positions demand our conscious attention. So every step of our life, every station that we happen to find ourselves in requires our attention. The red feather over the kid's head right here represents the flame of life and the flame of joy, vitality, potency, liveliness, and it shows how truly alive the soul is and reminds us of our essential innermost being. This red banner that you see right here kind of goes behind the horse, reminds us that we are beings of vital energy. It is the connecting link between high and low. So it goes from the sky to the ground. The gray-white horse, so the white of the horse represents innocence and wisdom. The gray represents a lack of prejudice or some unnoticed, unconscious, perhaps we remain unaware of the sun behind us. So the gray actually represents shading from the sun. And so basically we're unaware of the sun behind us and the strength that bears us. The wall right here behind the horse underneath the sunflowers is a reminder to set limits, to set them wisely and to keep them. Now, the sunflowers combined with the sun and the shadow, basically since the days of Van Gogh, the sun and shadows have been linked with a sunflower motif. The shadows speak to us from various parts of the picture. So you've got the shadow between the sunflowers and the sun. And then you've got the shading of the horse with the sun in the background. The light blue sky is representative of the heavens or the divine realm and the realm of the will. Light blue, like we see with the star card, represents openness. Positive attributes of this are mirth, lightness, a clear will, a lucid mind. Negative attributes of it are wishful thinking or to idolize something or someone. Now, the child's position, his body position, actually kind of calls back to the Fool, because he's got the same open-armed position. But it also is indicative of an attitude expressing abandonment and openness. So he's not abandonment as in he was abandoned, but he's abandoning caution. He's just open and ready to take on the world. And it's a question of developing maturity or an adult being seen as childlike again. So this card actually is like the conclusion of a cycle. So you're mature, but you also still have your childlike innocence in a way.
Okay.
Upright keywords. So if you find the card upright in a reading, the keywords associated are clarity and optimism. Should you find it upside down or reversed, the keywords are pessimism and confusion.
And why would see that's another thing that I don't do with the upside down definitions of the cards. Why wouldn't it be the exact opposite of what it means upright? So instead of clarity, it would be confusion or foggy.
Okay.
And instead of optimism,
well, isn't pessimism?
Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, don't you pat me like that. But there was something else. And I didn't want to interrupt you, but now I don't. But there was something else with the anyway. So the next card is Judgment. So the card number is 20. The element, again, as with the sun, is fire. The planet is Pluto. I know they removed Pluto as a planet, but it's still a planet to me. It was a planet when I was in school. So there you go.
And it's still a celestial body.
It's still a celestial body. The zodiac sign is Scorpio. In numerology, 20 is 2 plus 0 equals 2. So it's connected to the high priestess and justice, which would make sense since it's judgment. The Hebrew letter is Shin, S-H-I-N. The primary principle behind it is beginnings. Now, with the card description, an angel amid a light blue sky blows a trumpet that has a flag attached to it. Oh, that's what it was. So in the other one, show the first one. So also with the what is it called?
Are you talking about the banner?
The banner. Thank you. It mentions high and low, like the connection between high and low, but it could also, because it is touching the sky and going all the way to as above, so below.
Yes.
Is the thought that I
okay.
But it did the book doesn't describe it that way.
No.
But anyway, that's what I was okay. So I can continue. I'm sorry.
It's okay. At least you remembered what your thought was.
Yeah, that's a rarity in itself. All right, so the flag in this image has a white background with a red cross, which we all know is the Templars, or know from. Not that this is representing that, but Below the angel, people emerge from caskets and rejoice as they heed the call, referencing the biblical resurrection on Judgment Day. There are blue mountains in the background. Yeah, they're actually blue. The symbolism in the card, the Day of Judgment represents a firm part of the Christian tradition, even though not as much is known about it as the expulsion of Adam and Eve from paradise.
Yes.
Well, yeah, because that already happened. Anyway, the six people, three in the foreground and three in the background. This could be a family or just friends that have separated, or it could be two separate groups. All six figures are a mirror that reflect one's own masculine and feminine and childlike aspects. The figures gesturing can express farewell or reconciliation. Both are important here. A line is to be drawn under all that has gone before. The nudity equates to a warning against shamelessness and crudeness.
Which, as we all know, there is no shame in nudity. I mean, that's our natural state. That's how we're born.
Yes. But it is odd that they had that
yes.
child in the last one.
Yeah.
Anyway, now I totally lost where I was at. Sorry, guys. I do this all the time.
Up top.
Yes, I'm trying to get there. Shamelessness and crudeness, almost like it's an encouragement to face up to the naked truth. Openness, honesty.
It's supposed to be beauty.
Beauty and truth. Sorry.
Sorry, typos. Someone forgot to spell check.
I'm not gonna say what. Well, okay, it's Besuty, and I don't know. I saw something else when I first got to it. I'm gonna skip over that now. And not. Okay, so openness, honesty, beauty, and truth, and not least eroticism and lust. The trumpet was okay. So wait a minute.
So it's talking about the nudity.
Okay, so that was a long description for the nudity.
Yes.
The nudity equates to a warning against shamelessness and crudeness, an encouragement to face up to the naked truth, openness, honesty, beauty, and truth, and not least of all, eroticism and lust.
Yes.
The trumpet with 7 stripes equates to awakening sleeping energies and brings the dead back to life.
Yeah, the stripes are.
They are.
One of those tiny, teeny, tiny details that you really have to look for.
You can dispose of such powers or face up to them, and you will hear. Wow, that was my bad. That was not spell check. You will hear a great deal. The open coffins and graves equates to no more black boxes or negative attributes. The return of what was suppressed. Certain desires and fears come again and again because they have not been fulfilled or dealt with or resolved. The positive attributes is deliverance, frankness, I guess. Well, yeah. Deliberate, purposeful. Mercy and mercy, excuse me. Now, the Red Cross is representative of a sign of differentiation. Oh my gosh. I'm not doing good with multisyllabic words tonight. And connection on it. Okay. The reading side of my brain is pausing for a second. Okay, so the Red Cross equates to a sign of differentiation and connection. Yes. On it represents taking leave and separating. And on the other hand, it represents reconciliation and unification. The blue-white mountains in the background equate to nirvana or possibly the Ice Age. Old wishes and fears find their resolution and inspiration to start a process of continual new beginnings and transformation. Jesus Christ. Now, the angel is your power of motivation, your awakening, if you will, and of your transformation. He warns against airy, groundless beliefs, airheadedness.
Or maybe just thoughtlessness.
Okay. The light blue sky equates to the heavens and divine realm and the realm of the will. The light blue represents openness, of course, the sky. The positive meanings behind it are lightheartedness and lightness, purpose of will, and lucid mind. The negative would be naivety and intoxication.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that so many of these last few cards have had light blue skies.
I find it interesting that I had a really hard time with that one paragraph. Now, in the upright position, it's, again, awakening and acceptance and probably strength, too, I would say. The reverse, though, is self-doubt, specifically self-doubt and resentment, probably also to self.
Maybe. And our final card is the World, card number 21. Now, if you're wondering why there are 22 cards, and this one is 21, it's because the Fool, which was the very first card we talked about, doesn't have a number.
Right.
And it can be placed either at the beginning or the end. We decided to put it at the beginning. So card number 21, the element is Earth, because it's the world.
Makes sense.
The planet is Saturn. And this one actually has multiple zodiac signs associated with it. You've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. The numerology is 2 + 1 = 3, so it is connected to the Empress and to the Hanged Man cards. The Hebrew letter associated is
I would say Tau.
Tau, T-A-U. Yeah. And the primary principle is mastery. Now, for this card, it does feature a nude woman at the center. Well, she's partially nude. She does have like a shawl or banner or something wrapped around her. She holds a double-tipped wand in each hand, and there is a mauve shawl wrapped around her. A wreath encircles her. Each corner bears a cloud and the symbol of one of the fixed zodiac signs: Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio. So that's these little characters here in the corner. There is a red band at the top and bottom of the wreath. Now, the symbolism associated with this card, the first one is her pose, her posture. She's both turning away and towards the observer. She's calm, but she's also agitated. She's half clothed, but also half nude. And she is between alternatives and always on the go, yet she's always going with the flow. She's basically serenely balancing contradictions. The mauve shawl that wraps around her is a symbol for evolution and DNA, which is basically an endlessly woven band, and a symbol that ascension usually isn't in a straight line. It's a sign of personal development as well. The 2 wands that she carries, while the magician carries 1 wand, which represents I, she carries 2 wands, which represents we or you and I. Now, the 2 wands with the 4 elements that they can be brought together to balance everything out. The negative meanings associated with the wands are inconsistencies that remain. The 4 elements are representative of the four evangelists. Every person has access to all of the possibilities of the four elements. What we make of them forms the essential fifth element portrayed by her in the center. So we all have access to earth, air, water, fire. What we do with them indicates what our world becomes. Let's see. Cool. So the red bands at the top and bottom of the wreath, those are a sign of infinity. Positive meanings behind this are balance, endlessness, and vitality, whereas the negative meanings could mean that the person is in a rut or
been there.
They're dealing with a cycle of repetition without growth and maturity. I'm pretty sure we've all kind of been stuck in that spot where you feel like you're stuck. Yeah. Now her partial nudity is a warning against a lack of culture. And it backs up one's will to face the naked truth. So, like, are you willing to face it or are you not? If you are, then like go for it, do it. The salient points in the circle of life, which are also associated with nakedness, such as birth, marriage, and death, are also represented in that. I mean, because if you think about it, we're born nude, we spend most of our lives clothed, and then when we die, like especially if we are cremated, we pretty much go back into the fire naked. So the green wreath is representative of a crown of laurels and a wreath for the grave. As a wreath, it underlines the spatial and temporal limits to our existence in this life.
It's a deep fucking card.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I said, but like these last three seem to be really, anyway,
really powerful and meaningful.
Yes.
Yes. The crown of laurels signifies lasting success when we learn how to use this framework. The digits on the card, XXI, basically equals 3, which is the Empress. Between the world and the Empress, there are 18 cards or steps. Card 18 is the moon, which represents redemption, among other things. Thus, the world also shows the Empress, or the Great Mother Earth, in a state of deliverance. Yeah, pretty freaking deep.
Yeah, it's a deep card. You get that in your reading, then something.
You better pay attention.
Something's going on.
Upright keywords include successful completion and reaping rewards. Again, this is the closing of the cycle, the major arcana. Should you find it reversed or upside down, it represents an incomplete action or a delayed celebration. So you might want to rethink your plan, or take a look at what you're doing.
Counting the eggs before they hatch, type of thing. Yeah. So
that concludes our major arcana series. Now, keep in mind, you do have until April 22nd to get entered into our tarot giveaway. If you haven't done so yet and you want to, do it now. Don't wait until the last minute, because I'm keeping tabs on this stuff and we've got a few people entered. So yeah, just make sure you go to our Facebook or Instagram page, find the post that says which deck. You have to like it. You have to comment on it, stating which deck you would want us to use should you get chosen for the reading, how many times you want us to shuffle the deck, how many times you want us to cut the deck, and your email address. Now, again, if you do not want to leave your email address out there for all the world to see, you can email us at gettingwitchypodcast@gmail.com. Let us know which.
Is that what most people have done?
Actually, no. Most of them have just left their email address on the thing.
Interesting. Okay.
But we have had a couple people email us and say, hey, this is my email address. This is the post I commented on. You have to let us know if it was Instagram or Facebook if you're going to email us. That way we can go in, verify which one, verify that you did what was supposed to be done, and we'll get you entered. And again, first prize is a complimentary tarot reading, Celtic Cross, from us. The second prize is a beautiful tarot card pouch that you can use to store your deck in. Yeah, I think that's it for today.
So we've got some other stuff coming up. I know we've talked about it before. You know, a follow-up to the Sumerian gods, follow-up to the well, basically Asian, both Japanese and Chinese.
Right.
And the Mayan.
Yes.
So gonna be working on all that. It's gonna take a little bit. But we'll be doing some other stuff in between. We got a few things coming up. But this has been fun. It's been enlightening. And I've actually learned a few things. And it's, yeah, anyway, hope you've enjoyed it and hope you've learned something. And maybe it piqued an interest in you to start checking it out because it's really cool. Anyway, one love. Be good to each other.
Peace out, witches.
Peace out.
Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We love you, and we can't wait to see you again.
It's just tea.